I'm so excited about today's episode, the Float Conference hype episode. We are lucky enough to have hosts who are part of the Float Conference board. And also we have Jocelyn on, who's really doing all the, well, I shouldn't say all the behind the scenes work, because Kim, Gloria, other people are also working hard as well. But I feel like Jocelyn is kind of the centerpiece that connects all the dots, makes sure everything flows smoothly, plans. You know what? I shouldn't even go starting a list, because I think it'll just go on forever, and I'm sure to miss something if I don't go on forever. So let me give a shout out to our sponsors here before we get started. HelmBot. If you don't know who HelmBot is, well, my gosh, first of all, I hope you're coming to the Float Conference. They are, I just found this out during this episode, they have a special class if you're going to be there in Louisville. I'm trying. Friday, 4 p.m. HelmBot tips and tricks. I will be there. I'm really excited about this. I've been talking about Helm for years and years. The Float Shop has been using Helm for years and years, because we love it. It is designed from the ground up for float centers. And now we get to peel things back a little bit, look behind the curtains, and see how we can be even more efficient, and how Helm can do more than I guess we even know about, which is impressive because it does a lot. My staff is always impressed with it. Sandra loves Helm. And yeah, we'll get to learn a little bit more. If you're not already using HelmBot, well, definitely check out their booth. Definitely come to the workshop and learn more about it. And if you're not coming to the Float Conference, then go to helmbot.com. Check it out and make sure that it's a good fit for you. I'm very confident that it will be a good fit for you. This isn't just me marketing or reading some ad copy. This is something that we truly believe in, and we truly love Helm. So yeah, helmbot.com. Check them out. And also a big shout out to the FTA. The FTA is also going to be having a big presence at the Float Conference. Definitely make it to the conference, meet the board for the FTA. And I know there's some overlap, as I learned again today. Jocelyn wears many hats in our industry and in life. But yeah, come say hi to the board members of the FTA. Learn what the FTA does for the industry, what the FTA can do for you. If you're starting a float center, if you're thinking about starting a float center, come to the Float Conference, my gosh. 2, definitely meet everybody who's part of the FTA. There's a special FTA mixer as well. You got to make it to that. It's I don't think it's a float conference party. It's specifically people who are within the FTA, and that's going to be really fun to get in on that. There's really cool information coming out from the FTA at the Float Conference this year. There's going to be some nice reveals, if you will, and I'm looking forward to that and excited for what the FTA is doing. They are a very pivotal group within our industry that helps us thrive. Flotation.org is where you want to go to check them out, and otherwise follow them on the social medias, all that stuff. And of course, I implore you to support them as well. Become a member. It's good for you. It's good for the industry, and yeah, give back to the community that's helping support you. All right, let's go ahead and start the show. Welcome back to another episode of Art of the Float, where float centers thrive. My name is Dylan. I own the Float Shop in Portland, Oregon with my wife, Sandra, for I think 12 years now, or we're coming up on 12, or maybe it's 13. It's kind of funny when you stop losing count. It's kind of like when you get older and all of a sudden your age doesn't have the same meaning, and that's weird to hit that with a business. But we've arrived there.
Everybody, it's Kim Hannon. In Indiana. We're a little rusty having Gloria and me on the show at the same time. So
it's such a gift, though.
It is.
We could have gone over this before recording. We technically could have. We had an hour to do it.
Who cares?
It's all good. It's all good. But hey.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
And who's that person? Who's that other one I haven't seen in a long time? Used to be a host here.
Gloria Morris, and yes, obviously we're off kilter a little bit, but I find it to be much more entertaining, Kim. I don't know if anybody else does, but anyway, Gloria Morris with Float 60, and I think we've been in business going on 8 years now, which seems like an eternity. So I'm very excited to see all of your faces and excited about our topic tonight.
And somebody new here tonight, too. I'm really excited to have Jocelyn on. Welcome to the podcast. Yeah.
Hello, thank you. Am I supposed to introduce myself, too?
Please do. Yeah, actually.
Hey, I'm Jocelyn, Jocelyn Jester. I play in the Float Conference and have other jobs, too, as well. I have other jobs.
Jocelyn, how did you get into the float industry?
I actually used to work for the National Swimming Pool Foundation, which is now called the Pool and Hot Tub Association, through which I planned the World Aquatic Health Conference, at which I met Graham and Ashcon. And when I stopped working for the World Aquatic Health Conference, they asked me to help with the Float Conference instead.
When was that?
I worked for the NSPF 2014 to 2016. And then I started helping with the Float Conference in 2018.
Oh, wow.
2017.
I don't think I realized all of that either. That's really great
I know.
background and history. No wonder our Float Conference has been awesome.
Yeah. I used to plan like a regular conference before I planned the Float Conference.
And then nothing happened weird after 2018, so it thinks like just
no, it's been really normal since then, yeah.
Great, you had the template and you just keep replicating.
That's right.
Easy peasy.
It's the same every year.
Yeah, as everyone knows, it's dialed in and unmodified. That actually is one of the really cool things about the Float Conference is it is dynamic and it seems like it's ever improving, and that's kind of what we're going to cover on today's episode. I'm really excited to go over all the different facets of it, but of course the speakers, but also there are some cool workshops going on, and then also just like little changes that have been made to the conference to I'll let you guys talk about it, but just little changes that make it more, I think, fun and heartfelt and meaningful for people coming to the conference. So maybe out of the gate, we should talk about when it is. Kim, seems like I should throw it to you on this one.
Well, actually, I wanted to clarify something before we dive all into the Float Conference, because a lot of people know Jocelyn in other ways too, because as is typical in the float world, you kind of get sucked into the float world. And so Jocelyn started with the Float Conference. That's how she and I met. Whenever I joined the board of directors and then became president, and I recruited Jocelyn to work with me for Mindful Solutions for a while. And then the Float Tank Association needed somebody to help, and so she broke my heart and left. They stole her away, but she's been doing really awesome things for the FTA this year as well. And so it does get a little bit confusing sometimes with people wondering, like, is this an FTA thing or a Float Conference thing? And having Jocelyn involved in both adds a little bit to that confusion. But the great thing about it is she knows everything about all the things and is heavily involved in all of the nonprofits, or not all of the, but FTA and FloatCon, and knows a whole lot about what's happening with the Float Research Collective as well. So Jocelyn is very, very entrenched in the float world, even though she technically has never owned a float center. She is still a little float goddess.
I have worked at a float center. I worked at Float On for about 8 months. And I also have another job where I manage three additional nonprofit networking associations here in Portland, Oregon.
So I would love to talk, if you don't mind, I'd love to talk about
Easy.
What? The transition between when the float what is your problem?
No, I can answer that question. I got you, Gloria.
It is float conference related, and here's why I think it's important. Damn it. Hold on, Jocelyn. We're having a sidebar.
Oh, boy. I'm totally cutting this out.
No, I think it's important because people don't really understand how difficult it is to become a nonprofit and the rules that it requires to have a certain makeup of your board and all of the bylaws. And I think it's worth mentioning because, so many people just think the Float Conference just puts itself on. And there's so much work that goes into it. And Kim was being completely facetious and sarcastic when she said it's just, cookie cutter. Next year is the same as last year. No, it's not. It's different every time. Every city is different. So I would love for you just to really quickly talk about when the transition happened from the float conference being run by Graham and Ashcon to the nonprofit?
Let's just jump all the way back, right? The history of the float conference. Here's what happened. In 2012, Graham and Ashcon thought, wow, it'd be really great if we could all get together and talk about how the heck to run a float center, because we have no idea what we're doing. And so they threw together a conference, and I wasn't there, but I understand it was a little bit of a hodgepodge. But over the years, they really like honed what they were doing and figured out how to run an actual conference. And then in 2018 is when we came to the idea of turning the float conference into a 501c6 nonprofit, which is different from 501c3. Happy to tell you about that another time. But so we turned it into a nonprofit. Mostly me and Ashcon and Janine, if anybody remembers her, worked with lawyers. We paid a boatload of money, did all this work to transfer the assets from Float On to the Float Conference, this new organization that we generated. We came up with the board of directors, an interim board of directors. And we kind of tried to think about like what would most benefit the industry as a whole for the float conference versus like a float center putting on a float conference, right? So we started moving around. And yeah, that was 2018 is when we flipped over to the new nonprofit. 2019 is when we did the first float conference as the nonprofit, and that was in Denver, if you remember.
Yeah, and then we had the virtual one, and the history goes from there. So thank you for that background. I hope that was helpful,
about that next year.
Yes.
So that's the history of the float conference. Now you got all that covered, and we can talk about this year's float conference, which
because it's going to be amazing.
Well, let's talk about a few more previous ones. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, let's talk about this year's float conference. Are there any? I think speakers are the big draw in general. Yes.
Yes, but we didn't really go over the dates or the location yet. Should we start there?
Please do.
Jocelyn, you're hired. Yes.
So the float conference in this year is the actual conference dates will be August 18 to 20. We will be in Louisville, Kentucky. You can choose your preferred preference of saying Louisville, but I understand you do not say the S. We will have some pre-conference events just like we always do, the CPO course. If you're a new float center or if your certification is due for renewal, I would encourage you not to sign up for that because we're past signups for that. But next year, we have the FTS Startup Center workshop on the 17th and 18th. And then we have a new workshop this year called the Marketing and something. Maybe Kim can help. The M&M, that's what I've been calling it, and I've been like going to the candy aisle to get the M&Ms every time. But Kim, tell us about your workshop.
Salty Success Marketing and Management Strategies. So Mindful Solutions is hosting that. So one of my team members, Stephanie, is going to be joining me, and we'll be facilitating a full day workshop talking about all sorts of different kind of a hodgepodge of marketing and management topics. And then we're also giving all of our attendees access to our brand new online learning solution. So we have a whole bunch of online courses we're going to be releasing. And so everybody who attends that full day workshop gets access to that just for coming to join, because we'll be talking about some high level stuff, and then they can dive a little bit deeper in some of the online modules.
And what's the cost to do that? And is it too late to sign up?
It's not too late.
It's not too late to sign up, and it is $499 for that one. I'm sorry, I should know that number, but I also have a discount code. If anybody wants to use my code, then they can send us a quick message, and I'm happy to give them a little discount if they want to sign up. So
awesome.
Message Kim Hannon on Facebook, email.
Yeah. Any way you can find me. Kim@mindful.solutions is the easiest way, or you can find me on Facebook or anywhere else.
2 L's.
Kim just saved you $100 too. It's $399 for that workshop.
Oh, thank you. There you go. Nice. Sorry.
And then we're also doing the Float Center bus tour again this year. It's going to be on Thursday night, so August 17th at 7 p.m. So fly in on Thursday to go to the bus tour.
And you can come visit my center. You can go to Weightless Float Center, which is across the river, and Blissful Relaxation, also across the river. Those two are pretty close to each other. So We've got 2 in Louisville and 1 here in Southern Indiana.
So 3 stops in the bus tour. All right.
That's right.
7 p.m. Thursday. Got it.
That's right.
Instant access to other people's float centers, including behind the scenes stuff, is
So much fun.
valuable.
Love doing
and a
that.
blast. It is just a ton of
So
fun.
much fun.
And there's beer, so.
Oh, that's right. Nice.
Yes.
As Jocelyn
Speaking
takes a
of
swig,
beer.
fantastic. Yes, speaking, nice segue. Take a drink. Yeah, I just love seeing other people's float centers. Are all the floats booked up throughout the week already? Does anybody know about that?
No,
I don't think
each
so.
of the float centers is offering a discount as well. We sent out an email and a post in the Float Collective, and if Jocelyn's going to be like, maybe we didn't put it in the
Did
email,
we
but
do
we're
that?
going
I
to.
don't know.
But we're also going to be sharing a
Just write
float
that
conference
down.
checklist with everybody, and that has the codes too, but you can get discounted floats at all 3 of the centers. My center is technically closed on Thursday because we only want it to be available for float conference folks. And if we open that morning schedule, then anybody can book it. So if you want to book with us during the morning hours, then you're welcome to give us a call at Tsukino, and we can hook you up with early morning floats. And then, of course, all 3 centers will be closed in the evenings on Thursday because we're hosting the bus tour.
Cool. So cool. Because I have social anxiety. I was thinking about maybe bringing a light and a camera and doing inviting people to a photo shoot instead, so I could not be amongst a ton of people and just do simple shoots. But yeah, maybe I'll post that in the social media feed. So let's see here. Speakers. Do we have good speakers this year? Is it a total mess? Where are we at with that?
What? I don't know. We haven't scheduled anybody yet, so do you have any ideas?
Okay. Just
no, I'm just kidding. We have a very very full schedule this year. We have a full day of workshops and panels on Friday and wellness sessions on Friday as well. Like literally you have to choose between 3 different things. Sorry. And then we've got just the regular full days of main stage talks on Saturday and Sunday with a wide variety of speakers. We've got what we're calling the complementary modalities panels. So if you are considering adding a different modality to your float center, that would be an option for you to learn about those things.
That's great.
We've got talks about mindfulness. We've got talks about the microbiology project is a presentation we're going to be hearing about. We've got
marketing
Kim,
panel. We've got our marketing panel.
Yeah.
We're doing something new this year too, where we have some roundtable discussions where during each scheduled session, there'll be kind of a major topic. And then whenever you go into those roundtable discussions, you pick a table that has kind of a subtopic of that particular category. And then we have some prompts and things that will get you going on the conversation. And it's a great chance for everybody to share some best practices and brainstorm together and, really hear from each other and what is working and not working at your float centers. And then at the end of those sessions, we'll be doing a big group share back so that we can all hear what was happening at the tables, even if you weren't at, each individual table. So we have several of those kind of sprinkled throughout the conference. And that way we can make sure that we're taking, all of that great knowledge that is out there in the industry and sharing it, with everybody.
Fantastic. And I feel like that is taking some of what's awesome about the Float Conference. It's like that social communication with everybody and sharing those little ideas, but then putting it within a little bit of structure of like, this is the topic, getting a circle of people together. Smart guys.
It's exactly the goal. Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
Cool.
And we have another one of our panel discussions is going to be on general float center operations. We have invited several float center owners to come and share some of their expertise and knowledge. And I'm trying to think, there's so many things that really we're having a hard time fitting them all in.
Cool. Great.
Because we had so many great topics this year. And we'll have some old favorites coming back to chat with us. Of course, Dr. Justin Feinstein and Dr. Flux. And then we also have a bunch of new folks too who are going to be sharing, and some local experts as well. So
Cool.
Yeah, one of the workshops I think that Dylan will probably be excited about. We talked Helmbot into doing a like maximizing your Helmbot functionality workshop. So it'll be a chance to come and learn all about maximizing your booking system, whether or not you use Helmbot or your task management system. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting too.
That's awesome. And there's a chance my wife is going to be joining this year. And if that's the case, she's the one who would
Sign her up.
absolutely be in that workshop. Yeah. Cool. Fantastic. And I just want to reference real quick that Flux was on last week's or maybe 2 weeks ago's episode. Really fascinating. Flux is such an amazing human being, and also just some really interesting data collection and science that I think is a great primer for the presentation that he's going to give here. So definitely give that one a watch on YouTube or a listen on your local podcatcher.
I have
Sorry,
a couple
Gloria,
other
yeah.
questions. I'm a little leery right now, so I
Yes,
just want to make
Gloria.
sure I'm very intentional with my questions. But Kim, somebody's at Kim's front door, and I was going to ask her about Louisville. I want to give people a taste for what they're going to experience in the city. I see you're drinking from a Kentucky Derby glass. Tell us about Louisville. Why should you come to Kentucky? Of course it should be.
Why
That a
not
julep?
drinking?
yes. Well, the really cool thing about Louisville is it is a river city. And so we have some really, really great views of the river, and there are several bridges. And that's one of my favorite things, is to go visit just the parks that are around there and to see the bridges. There's a ton of activities, everything from, visiting Slugger Field and the museum, going on bourbon tours, which I will say, if you haven't booked a bourbon tour at this point, get on it now. You might not get to, because they typically book up pretty far in advance. The food is amazing. There's so much that you get Southern food, but you also have some, really great fusion options. Louisville is kind of a big melting pot. It's not the South of the South kind of a place. It's a very diverse area, and there's there's so much to do walking around the city, seeing the shops. There's different parts of town that you can go visit. Tons of activities. There's great hiking that's really close. So you can, hit up Red River Gorge or go to Clifty Falls, or a lot of really beautiful places. Kentucky Kingdom is still open, and so that's a big
What is
amusement
that?
park.
So is Holiday World.
Holiday
Just for
World
the
is a little
record.
bit further away, but Holiday World is amazing too. But it's about
Preferred.
an hour and 15,
The better theme
an hour and
park.
20 minutes.
They
And
have
then,
free sunscreen, Kim.
they
saying.
used to have free sunscreen at Kentucky Kingdom, but they don't anymore. But there's, just a ton of things, and it's just one of those cities that, every time I go into the city, I find new things, and then you can find all these little, pocket neighborhoods as well. And we'll be in one of those pocket neighborhoods that is actually, get ready. You guys ready for this? We're going to Portland.
Get out of here.
Huh?
Our Saturday party is in a neighborhood of Louisville called Portland.
Funny.
Gotta be kidding me.
We had to.
It was an accident too. We didn't even do it on purpose.
So funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
We booked the venue, but for our party first, and then realized it is actually in Portland.
Like on Portland Avenue. We can't make this
Right.
up.
Yes.
I love that. And I was just going to say, the food in Portland, Maine was so good, so ridiculous. And so now I'm excited
so
to
good.
taste another region's food. It's
Yes.
part of the reason to travel for these float conferences is just checking out everybody's food. It's so good.
And we're going to be
And
hooking you
drink.
guys up with some
And drink.
local food options.
Yeah, we got you.
Food trucks coming in, and then our venue itself is also just gorgeous. We're going to be at the
cool.
Kentucky Center, which is where Broadway performs. I go there quite frequently to see shows, and was just there again a couple weeks ago, and I'll be there after the conference to go back for more once the next season starts. But they have a little place that's inside the venue that serves food as well, and we'll have that open for part of the time during the conference, a little bit at the time.
We had
and
to minimize the time, but it will be open for some of it.
then we'll have a little bit of that.
We got a budget.
But where we're located, there's really, really beautiful. It's right by the river, and so it's just really nice and peaceful to be able to sit there and veg out a little bit too.
It's also like right across the street from a bourbon bar. Is that right?
Yep.
Bourbon tasting.
Ooh,
There's
boy.
plenty of options nearby.
I might not make it to the conference.
No, we're
be
gonna
across
need
the
you to come to the conference. Actually.
Well, okay.
Can
Can I
you up
bring
for
those
some
across
stuff?
the street?
Yeah, sure. Just keep them in your pocket.
Yeah, I'll take that to go.
So
Good.
So good. There's just a ton of stuff to do, and I think it's kind of hard to do that stuff like during the conference time. So you got to extend your trip a little bit because we have so much planned that it is like wake up until you fall asleep or when they get back to your room.
Just stay up for the whole weekend. It's fine. You don't need to sleep.
Right.
I mean, that seems to be the theme of the float conference. That
You can sleep in the float tank when you get home.
God.
It'll be fine.
Even Kim is up. I don't know what it was last year. How late?
I
it
am
was up.
not.
I can't keep up with you guys. I feel
I
like
am.
I'm so much older than you guys.
I will say I will not be out as late every night this year. I will probably save that for the last night once everything is done.
Nice.
But
yeah, right.
yeah.
That's a good plan
Yes.
for you. Yeah, good call.
Yes. Yeah. We'll see.
I'll just also say the Master of Mischief, the MC Steven Johnson is going to be there yet again, and
The master of
Shenanigans.
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 Yes.
Master
Master
of
of
Conference
Malarkey?
Shenanigans. That's
there you
his
go.
title. Yeah, Steven Johnson will be running the show again this year for us.
Which I think is a treat, but the extra treat is him in person, of just being able to hang out with him. Like, what an incredible human being. Love that. I get to see him in Portland.
We
which
got
is
him
great,
put him on some panels and everything too, so we even get to
cool.
hear a little
Okay.
bit of his knowledge about bodywork and that kind of thing
Yeah.
too. So it's a
Great.
I'm really
Keep an eye out
excited
for
about
that.
that because we all know Stephen is this like amazing poet and philosopher and just a kind, loving human. But to also be able to see him share some of his expertise is going to be really, really cool.
So he lives here in Portland, and so I get to see him with moderate frequency, and the number of lives he has lived that he'll mention, like, oh yes, my time as a professional dancer, or yes, my time as a professional or amateur boxer, or yes, I was running with this celebrity that you would know regularly at the time, and when I was ultra running, or maybe it wasn't ultra running, but mountain running. Like there is no end to his lives, and and his body working knowledge, all of that. Yeah. Ooh, we lost.
Have you been on the table with Steven?
Yeah, many times. Yeah. He's a magic man.
It's wild. It's really interesting. Like it hurts like hell, but you feel so good after that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been so close to crying from bodywork before than with Steven. But yeah, he'll
I think I might have cried just a little bit. But it was worth it.
Good release. Yeah. You always feel better afterwards. Like a good cry. You always feel better after. And also, Glenn Perry is going to be there as well, which is just such a special treat that he makes it out here to the Float Conference. And again, I'm looking forward to his presentation, but also he thrives off seeing all of us as excited as we are all to see him. I don't know if Godfather of Floating is the right title or what, but just an absolute presence within the float industry, and just one of the best human beings on this earth. So definitely don't be shy. I'm definitely somebody who gets celebrity shy. Like, what am I going to contribute to this person? Blah, blah, blah. I think Glenn would say, just come up, say hi, give a hug. He absolutely loves seeing all of us.
If you are a little bit shy and you're not comfortable saying hi to somebody like Glenn Perry or Steven Johnson, we do have this crazy thing called the buddy system, where you can sign up to have a built-in buddy at the Float Conference. So we will be sending that out in the next, probably, I don't know when this is going to be published, but probably by the time this is published, you'll be able to have access to that. So you sign up as a big buddy or a little buddy, and you can either say like, hey, I need some help meeting some people and knowing where to go when, or you can say, hey, I've been to the conference a couple times and I'd like to help show somebody around. And also, sorry for speaking for you guys, but come and visit any of these 4 people and say, hey, I'm interested in meeting so-and-so or talking to somebody about X, Y, or Z, and I'm sure we would all help you connect with the right person.
Cool. Absolutely. Of course. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And I think
Yes,
that's
Gloria.
true. Yeah, any of the FloatCon board members as well as the FTA board members, all of us happy to help.
I was going to say, don't be offended if I run away if you ask me a question. I might come back to it. I'll do my best.
Funny. Gloria's a superstar. She is a celebrity. She has a big personality, but boy, she is a warm, friendly person. Go say hi to her. Give her a hug. Yeah.
Well, I'm a huge hugger. Yes, this is true. But thank you. I'm very much looking forward to it, for sure. And by the way, if you check your registration list, you may see
I saw it.
An additional attendee. I don't know. We are reaching people left and right.
Wow, we're really reaching people. All right. This podcast is all over the place. And I just want to add go to floatconference.com and look up the speakers, look up the workshops. I love all the people who are giving workshops this year. I think they're really bright people. They're the right people to be offering insight from this guy's perspective. These are some really amazing people, so you guys are definitely getting the talent forward for everybody. So thanks for putting that together, you guys. And for all of us who are joining, this is just so good for us. And also, just talking about those workshops, it was like, great, if you want float science research, that's there. Discussion. If you want marketing, that's there. Running your business, that's there. You get to pick and choose based off what you want, and your preferences will change over the years too. So that's awesome. I love how that is being designed. So I don't mean to... I promise this is genuine. I feel this way. It's not just because you're on screen here. This is absolutely how I think the center or the conference should be run. Like, you guys are absolutely nailing it.
Thank you. It's been a huge focus for the past few years, is really trying to find a good balance and a little bit of something for everyone. So we have, a little bit of woo, a little bit of self-care, a little bit of science, a little bit of business, a lot of everything. And the wellness sessions are also a really huge chance for us to practice what we preach and to go, take a few minutes to take care of ourselves while we're at this amazing conference. And so those are built in throughout the schedule as well. Some are workshops, some are one-on-one kind of things, some are, personal. But we have a ton of that. Yoga Nidra, we've got a journaling workshop, a workshop on cultivating curiosity, didgeridoo. We have the
didgeridoo is back. Everything. I know people have missed that for a couple of years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's coming back. We also, I think, are going to have a massage therapist coming, not for the full time, but for some time in the lobby, come and give 5-minute massages. We are bringing back the pop-up float at the float conference. So that is officially confirmed. We will have a float tank running at the float conference.
Crazy.
Kim already mentioned some of the other ones. We've got just a workout if you want to get a little exercise in.
That one actually looks really, really fun. What was the topic on that?
A functional, fun workout. I think he does CrossFit type stuff typically, but he's kind of reining it in a little bit for us. So it's not a CrossFit, but he is CrossFit certified or whatever. It's actually Anthony from True Rest in Omaha is coming out to give that. Nice. And then not really a wellness session, but we're going to have a photographer coming out and giving headshots. So you can come and get your headshot for your About page updated. I think that's going to be really interesting. Nice. Did I miss anything? We've got a hypnotherapy presentation. Idea. We've got a Reiki presentation. We've got any woo-woo needs you need fulfilled. We will have them fulfilled for you.
Yes. And I love, we also have the psychology of pricing this year is going to be one
That's going to be so interesting. Yeah.
Talks, and I think that's probably going to be a favorite. A lot of people are really looking forward to that one already.
And that's a 2 for 2, right? He's giving a main stage talk and then also diving into it in a workshop. So you'll be able to go and learn the basics on the main stage and then sit in a workshop with him and really talk through how it relates to you specifically, your float center specifically.
It was really cute. Some of my team members texted me today and said, hey, what sessions do you want to make sure that we go to in your absence? Because they know that I'm going to be running around like crazy. Funny. And they were like, what do you want to make sure that we get and can bring back? And I was like, everything. Can we just divide and conquer that? We know that one of us is going to be at every single workshop.
Nice.
So, yeah. And that I'm excited too, because, I'll have my team there, so they get to meet everybody else in the industry, and they're really excited about that. I know some other folks are bringing some of their staff members as well, and that's really exciting to see when you can bring your team in. That just, it engages them in a whole different way when they can see that it's not just this one little thing, this little piece of the business that, they see. It's this big, huge float world.
Nice.
I heard some rumors of a like mixer, an employees mixer. Is that happening? I'm not planning that, but
yeah.
But if it's happening, that sounds pretty cool.
I think Jonathan had some ideas about that, and Jonathan's doing a lot with the FTA mixer. So I don't know if he was making that an official thing or not, but. The really cool thing is because there's also like just spaces that you can go like tuck away in a corner and do your own thing. Or if you find a bunch of people and you guys want to talk about X, Y, and Z, then you can do that. It's really cool.
And the workshops are not traditionally recorded, right?
No, they will not be recorded.
Stage.
Only the main stage is recorded. Yeah.
So if you
the workshops are really designed to be like interactive, so it's like back and forth, and that just doesn't really make sense to record because we want you to really be present and learning from that opportunity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the main stage talks will be available on the virtual ticket, which is another option. If you can't travel, you can at least get a really good portion of the conference. You could watch that live stream, and then it's also immediately available after the session is over. You can go back and watch those things. If you have to run away and help a guest while you're at your center, you can still pop over and catch up with it, later on that day.
Another highlight that I'm seeing here, extended breaks. Yeah, nice. I love that. I love that it's actually labeled there because that is one of the best things is like you're done with the conference, you got to go get food, and then you come right back to a presentation and you don't get to chat with anybody. I like that you guys see just how much value there is in the networking part of it, so much appreciated. We tweaked that a little bit from last year too, especially like at the end of the day where the sessions end before the party started. We noticed a lot of people needed a little break to go and kind of reset, so we did add a little bit more of a buffer between like sessions and parties. All of that said, on Saturday, we are planning to feed you at the party on Saturday. So please do not go back to the hotel and eat because I already paid for your dinner. Which means you do need to register. Is that a fair?
You should, probably
buy your ticket
register for the conference. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I might do that.
Hotel room while you're at it.
Yeah, our cutoff is coming up pretty soon for that discounted rate. So you should probably book your
hotel. It's a good rate, by the way.
It's a
very good rate.
And it's a gorgeous hotel. We're staying at the Hyatt Regency.
It's right on 4th Street Live.
Right by 4th Street Live. So if you're not familiar with Louisville, that is one of the major attractions here is 4th Street Live, where basically they completely block off a couple of blocks within the heart of the city, and all it is restaurants and bars and entertainment, and you just walk and pop in and out of these places. And so I have a feeling that after the parties end on Friday and Saturday night, everybody will end up back on 4th Street because there's a ton to do there, and there are always places that have live music. There are places that you can go that are a little bit quieter. You can there's Howl at the Moon. If you've ever been to Howl at the Moon, they're all the same. And the same.
Y'all ever been to a dueling pianos bar? Mm-hmm. It's an experience. Yeah,
it is. It is definitely a lot of fun. And then we have live music on Saturday night. So Graham's band.
Who's that?
I was going to ask. Is it somebody that we might know?
It's happening. We had enough requests that I pulled some strings and booked the band. That is actually kind of a big thing right now. But so Hannon is going to be performing on Saturday night and at the Portal Party. And we also have areas for those who are not into music or loud things. We also have some quiet areas within Portal. And then we have float DJs coming on after the band. Funny. The party will continue there and just kind of have a little bit of a change in the vibe. And we've got other fun things.
We're trying really hard not to just constantly kick everybody out of every venue.
Funny.
It's like when we sat down and thought, what can we change for next year? We were like, maybe we should try not to get kicked out of so many venues this year. Yes. So we do have that venue a little bit later than last year. So
yes, we're trying to plan where we can just hang out and have a little bit of something for everybody, and you can do whatever, and then eventually move on to something else if you want to.
Did you change the start time to Sunday sessions?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I understand you need to sleep in just a little bit,
Just a little bit after those
I'm really
crazy
hoping
Saturday nights.
I think I gave my workshop on Sunday because I do remember the trickle in was real. I was like, okay, one person? Okay. And then it filled up by the end.
Yeah,
But,
that's right.
Some sleepy eyes. Yeah. So will Graham be signing autographs? Will we be able? Do we have to bring our vinyl? How
Is there swag? Like, how do we?
Yeah. What's the
Merch?
It's funny because by the time this episode airs, I think we will have officially had the next single release party. And so that's kind of a big thing. So we might merch. I don't know. But he loves to sign autographs. So
Oh, exciting!
yeah.
I love it. I would say, and maybe there's some variance in this, but usually when talking about advertisers, like especially if you're watching TV, it's like, oh, these annoying commercials, these people paying for ad space. I feel like with the Float Conference, it's really different because I feel like it's a curated group of people that come in that add value to the float industry. And so I know this is an odd question, but I mean, the booths that are out there, the advertisers, are totally worth checking out. Who are some of the names that you're...
we don't use the word advertisement.
Oh, what do we
because
do?
you have to pay taxes on advertisements. These are sponsorships.
They're sponsoring it. Yeah.
We are so thrilled with all of our sponsors that we have this year. Some of our big ones are More Floats. Thor is the photobiomodulation guy. I think you guys had James on here last year.
Yep, last year.
Yep. And will he have the tent? Like, will he be doing red light? Or
I know he doesn't. They've got a whole setup going on this year. Yeah, make some space. So here's our layout. You see this giant black box? That's Thor right there.
Nice. And More Floats
they are
is marketing.
Set up. Yeah, More Floats is marketing. We've got the FTA is one of our big sponsors, and then of course Helmbot. So we're really, really excited for all of those and all of our other sponsors as well.
Sweet.
And we've got a very cozy booth layout. So I hope you all take a few minutes to visit each and every one of our individual sponsors. We literally this event would not happen without them. So please support them. Please show them all of your love.
Yeah, please do. And as somebody who sat at booths before, you want to see those faces. You're trapped at a spot. You want to say hi to people and come join, talk. I'll be probably mostly at the Float Research Collective booth this year, and there's a
one of those,
very exciting stuff coming from the FRC that I don't want to spoil. So wait for Dr. Feinstein's talk. And guys, what else? I mean, you guys know what's going on. Is there anything else we, the audience, the visitors, need to know besides where to get tickets? And
register for the Float Conference. Book your hotel room.
Why are you looking right at me?
Sign up. Well, of the four of us.
Anymore.
Yeah.
We probably are going to have some T-shirts this year. So if you wanted to pre-order your Float Conference T-shirt, that will be available as soon as I do that. And I don't know what else, Kim. Book your bourbon tours. You got to do that.
Bourbon tours, real?
We're
going to Bourbon County. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know what? Somebody was telling me they were booking something. Jeannie Mills was booking some sort of Monday excursion. So if you're interested in learning about that, shoot me an email.
Nice.
I don't know what it is, but
Jocelyn,
I'll connect you with her. What's my email address? Mm-hmm. It's info@floatconference.com. It's in either one, info or Jocelyn@floatconference.com.
You got it. Sweet.
And there's
Which
a ton
one?
of information
I have
on
8
the website.
email addresses.
Yeah, the detailed schedule is posted on the website. If you go to floatconference.com/schedule, there's a high-level schedule at the top of the page, and then as you scroll down, it is literally line by line every single thing that we have planned. You can see who and what and all of that everywhere. And then we have a page called What to Expect, and that outlines some of the things that we talked about. It gives you a little bit more detail. There's a /travel page that has some reminders about what to pack, where we're staying, where everything's located, the address of everything. All of that is on there. And then, like I said before, we've got a new little checklist that we're going to be sharing with everybody so that you have your own personalized packing list and agenda items and things just to make sure that you are ready to come to the conference. It is going to be hot, you guys. It's going to be hot. So make sure that you dress accordingly. But we will be indoors, and if you've ever been to a big conference or anything, honestly, with more than like 2 people, it's really like every space is going to be a little different. Some rooms might be really cold, some might be warm, so it's nice to dress in layers. But then when we're outside, it's going to be a little bit toasty.
Kim, can you talk to us about hats for a minute?
Well, there's a thing that happens in Louisville every year, and unfortunately the conference doesn't coincide with the Kentucky Derby, but
unfortunately
it would really be fun.
Thank goodness. Literally nobody answered my email for 2 weeks straight.
Yes, so it's true. Like everybody shuts down around here during Derby season, which is the first Saturday in May, and it's like a big holiday here. But wear your Derby hats. Like it would just be so fun to just walk around in ridiculously large, over-the-top, silly hats. So I've got a couple. I've been trying to grab as many as I can from anybody who has tons, which everybody has a closet full around here. But wear your Derby hats, just any kind of hat, and make it fun. Have a little.
I really wish we had this conversation ahead of time and you were wearing a Derby hat this time.
I know. I can't get
it's
over
okay.
My office.
I have one more. Back to the website conversation. One more little sneak peek for if you attended the Float conference last year and you are registered for the Float conference this year, you should have access to the virtual event platform, which I am like 90% of the way finished with resetting for this year's conference. So if you wanted to go on there and start setting up your profile or playing with the forum, posting some comments, setting up some meetings with friends, chatting with people, that is available to people that are registered this year that attended last year. And if you are not registered, if you didn't come last year, you should receive the invite for that pretty soon.
So you're saying I should register? Is that what you're saying?
I think a little birdie told me that you were probably coming to the conference and I didn't delete your membership. So
Okay.
You personally, Dylan and Gloria, both personally should have access to the platform from last year. But if you are...
I'm registered, so I qualify.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
I think
but
he needs to be
I have to like actively... Hello, the Float conference is put on by a human being. I have to actively like see that you registered and create an account for you on our virtual event platform. No, I'm just saying that it's not automated. I have to like physically do the thing. Right. So if you were not registered as of July 26th at 3:46 p.m. Pacific time and you did not attend the conference last year, you probably don't currently have access to the platform, but you will have it soon.
We will be patient.
We'll get you there.
August 18th through the 20th, 2023. And yeah, so much is going on. Get your tickets. Also, it's a little bit cheaper and more centralized location. I just feel like there are a lot of upsides for the pocketbook.
Yeah, a lot of people are driving in.
Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. And you even mentioned like the hotel super nice, but affordable and discounted and everything. So that I'm going to go ahead and say that's a bit of a perk as a small business owner. Rather nice. So, gosh. Jocelyn, thank you so much for joining us. It is very odd that this is the first time you've been on the podcast. It's very odd, but with all the hats that you wear, I imagine it won't be the last. Thanks so much to my co-hosts, Kim and Gloria, for being here. Thanks to our sponsors, Float Tank Solutions and the FTA. And gosh, I think that's about it. We'll see you at the conference. Bye-bye.
See you soon.